Can you tell us about what's happening in Iran these days? What are the implications of war for oil prices as well as stock prices? In particular, why are they both going up over the past 10 days?
Um, Good morning. Yes, I agree that the markets are quite confusing these days. So uh, we're taking a break from the war at this time, 2 week ceasefire, as you know. But the direction of oil prices are up over the past month, and stock markets erased all of the losses. So that's quite a bit surprising. It seems to me that oil markets and the stock markets are pricing different scenarios. So stock markets are pricing a scenario where um, the hostilities are likely to end very quickly, whereas the oil market is pricing a scenario where these aftershocks uh, continue for a long time, oil prices stay high, supply shocks, and so forth. So I think one side is going to be disappointed at the end, and my guess is that's going to be the oil side.
Hmm. But the market reacted positively to Hormuz blockade. What do you think of this?
It reacted positively because the ceasefire basically stopped some of the damage to infrastructure. So both to Iranian oil exporting infrastructure as well as the Gulf Council countries. And so that's good news from the market's perspective. Even though oil prices are still high, uh, the fact that more damage is not occurring means that market can recover pretty quickly as soon as some peace accord is signed.
Hmm.
So that's what I think markets reacted positively. Not that this blockade is going to solve the problem, but it stopped damages for a while.
Okay. And what about Iran? Is it like to chicken out first?
I think that maybe what the markets are thinking at this time, that Iran is going to be crushed by this blockade and it's going to chicken out first. I am going to disagree with that scenario in that what the markets may be ignoring, I don't know if they are, but they might be, is that there's Caspian Sea route, which cannot be blockaded. It's an inland sea, which means that Russia can supply Iran with all of its short-term needs, energy, food, medicine, etc. And so Iran is not likely to be crushed under the blockade. My guess is blockade is going to fail because um, Gulf countries are also suffering. U.S. is a deadline dooming, which is the interim elections, which is the midterm elections. So my guess is the U.S. is going to chicken out first, although Iran obviously is going to suffer to some extent. They're going to be very, very dependent on Russia for everything now through the Caspian Sea route. And so there's incentives for both sides to get together, but don't expect Iran to be crushed and be begging for peace.
Hmm. So how do you see the end of this war?
What I see is I don't think the war is going to go on for too long because U.S. has very strong incentives to bring this to close. It does not want to go into midterm elections with gas prices around $5, daily news about damage in the Middle East, daily war stories. So U.S. has all the incentives to bring this to a close. It needs to declare victory, and it can do it with some quasi commitment by Iran to not pursuing nuclear ambitions. So U.S. can declare, we won, we won. Iran could declare victory by saying U.S. demanded this ceasefire, and my guess is the war is going to end before June. or sometime around June at the latest. So I don't think U.S. wants to push this further into summer and certainly not into the fall. Um, and I think once the Caspian Sea route picks up, of course, Israel has incentives to hit the Caspian ports. They've already hit some of the ports there. Um, but the US doesn't want Caspian Sea routes to be totally destroyed because US doesn't really want to destroy Iran. It wants some credible counterparty to negotiate with. So it wants the Caspian Sea to open to provide a lifeline to Iran, but not so much that Iran can last for years and years and years, which it can. So we're going to be in a delicate balance. Each side is going to have incentives to bring the war to a close, and my guess is sometime in early June, by early June, we should get some agreement and get oil prices to go down.
Thank you, Professor, for your insights.
My pleasure.